Yeah, we're talking about gene editing, and this is kind of crazy what they can actually do with this. Like, hear this out.
It contains a copy of our genome, over 20,000 genes, 3 billion letters of DNA. DNA consists of 2 strands twisted into a double helix and held together by a simple pairing rule. A pairs with T and G pairs with C. Our genes shape who we are as individuals and as a species. Genes also have profound effects on health, and thanks to advances in DNA sequencing, researchers have identified thousands of genes that affect our risk of disease.
Yo, imagine having, imagine how you can edit your gene, like, to get rid of certain diseases, like, you can get rid of certain hereditary diseases. It's crazy what they can actually do with gene editing. Like, you can actually get rid of, like, sexually transmitted diseases like AIDS and HIV. Like, it's kind of crazy, the development in the genome editing with CRISPR or Cas9 or program they actually do. Like, it's kind of crazy and it's mind-blowing.
To understand how genes work, researchers need ways to control them. Changing genes in living cells is not easy, but recently a new method has been developed that promises to dramatically improve our ability to edit the DNA of any species, including humans. The CRISPR method is based on a natural system used by bacteria to protect themselves from infection by viruses. When the bacterium detects the presence of virus DNA, it produces 2 types of short RNA.
Like, I genuinely believe there's like a cure to like almost every diseases. Like, I don't think there's not a single disease that human beings cannot actually cure.
One of which contains a sequence that matches that of the invading virus. These 2 RNAs form a complex with a protein called Cas9. Cas9 is a nuclease, a type of enzyme that can cut DNA. When the matching sequence,
This Cas9 is just like a scissors itself.
known as a guide RNA, finds its target within the viral genome, the Cas9 cuts the target DNA, disabling the virus. Over the past few years, researchers studying this system realized that it could be engineered to cut not just viral DNA, but any DNA sequence at a precisely chosen location by changing the guide RNA to match the target. And this can be done not just in a test tube, but also within the nucleus of a living cell. Once inside the nucleus, the resulting complex will lock onto a short sequence known as the PAM. The Cas9 will unzip the DNA and match it to its target RNA.
It's kind of hard to believe, like, if you can actually do this. Like, maybe like conspiracy theorists, like, it's kind of hard to believe they can actually do this.
If the match is complete, the Cas9 will use 2 tiny molecular scissors to cut the DNA. When this happens, the cell tries to repair the cut. But the repair process is error-prone, leading to mutations that can disable the gene, allowing researchers to understand its function. These mutations are random, but sometimes researchers need to be more precise, for example, by replacing a mutant gene with a healthy copy. This can be done by adding another piece of DNA that carries the desired sequence. Once the CRISPR system has made a cut, this DNA template can pair up with the cut ends, recombining and replacing the original sequence with the new version. All this
I actually believe like gene editing programs are much advanced than they actually tell us, because they can actually cure almost every sexually transmitted diseases. Like, and the government's not disseminating that information to the people. Like,
can be done in cultured cells, including stem cells that can give rise to many different cell types. It can also be done in a fertilized egg, allowing the creation of transgenic animals with targeted mutations. And unlike previous methods, CRISPR can be used to target many genes at once, a big advantage for studying complex human diseases that are caused not by a single mutation, but by many genes acting together. These methods are being improved rapidly and will have many applications in basic research, in drug development, in agriculture, and perhaps eventually for treating human. Hidden in the natural
We
world
don't care about
around
that.
us.
We're talking about like, can they like make designer babies? Like, that's like a theory. Like, we can edit our own, offspring. We can edit our own offspring to actually make it found desiring choices. Like, what if we can edit the gene to match a certain hair color or an eye color? Like, it's kind of crazy what they can actually do with this.
Imagine you were alive back in the 1980s and were told that computers were more powerful than supercomputers. It would seem absurd, but then all of it happened. Science fiction became our reality and we don't even think about it. We're at a similar point today with genetic engineering. So let's talk about it. Where it came from, what we're doing right now, and about a recent breakthrough that will change how we live and what we perceive as normal.
Imagine we can edit our own babies and offspring. Like, that would be kind of crazy. Like hair color, eye color, like even the gender itself. That's kind of crazy.
Forever.
Follow these guys from.
Humans have been engineering life for thousands of years. Through selective breeding, we strengthened useful traits in plants and animals. We became very good at this, but never truly understood how it worked, until we discovered the code of life, deoxyribonucleic acid, DNA, a complex molecule that guides the growth, development, function, and reproduction of everything alive. Information is encoded in the structure of the molecule. 4 nucleotides are paired and make up a code that carries instructions. Change the instructions and you change the being carrying it. As soon as DNA was discovered, people tried to tinker with it. In the 1960s, scientists bombarded plants with radiation to cause random mutations in the genetic code. The idea was to get a useful plant variation by pure chance.
But how does that even work? Like, you should actually detect certain mutation or diseases on the offspring before it became like an offspring. Like, how does that even work? Can we just edit just before conception itself? Like, I don't know. It's still a developmental process in a theory. Like, it has been they're talking about this for 11 years or so.
Sometimes it actually worked too. In the 70s, scientists inserted DNA snippets into bacteria, plants, and animals to study and modify them for research, medicine, agriculture, and for fun. The earliest genetically modified animal was born in 1974, making mice a standard tool for research, saving millions of lives. In the 80s, we got commercial. The first patent was given for a microbe engine.
RIP to all the mice that die for our own use, for cosmetic process whatsoever. Like, how many mice actually died?
To absorb oil. Today, we produce many chemicals by means of engineered life, like life-saving clotting factors, growth hormones, and insulin, all things we had to harvest from the organs of animals before that. The first food modified in the lab went on sale in 1994, the Flavor Saver tomato, a tomato given a much longer shelf life via an extra gene that suppressed the buildup of a rotting enzyme. But GM food and the controversy surrounding them deserve a video of their own. In the 1990s, there was also a brief foray into human engineering. To treat maternal infertility, babies were made that carried genetic information from 3 humans, making them the first humans ever to have 3 genetic parents.
What the fuck? How does that even work?
Today,
And how does the legal ramifications work on that too?
there are super-muscled pigs, fast-growing salmon, featherless chickens, and see-through frogs. On the fun side, we made things glow in the
What? How did they even do
babies
that?
were made that carried genetic information from 3 humans, making them the first humans ever to have 3 genetic parents. Today, there are super-muscled pigs,
What? How does that even possible? Like,
fast-growing salmon, featherless chickens, and see-through frogs. On the fun side, we made things glow in the dark. Fluorescent zebrafish are available for as little as $10. All of this is already very impressive, but until recently, gene editing was extremely expensive, complicated, and took a long time to do. This has now changed with a revolutionary new technology now entering the stage: CRISPR. Overnight, the costs of engineering have shrunk by 99%. Instead of a year, it takes a few weeks to conduct experiments, and basically everybody with a lab can do it. It's hard to get across how big a technical revolution CRISPR is. It literally has the potential to change humanity forever. Why did this sudden revolution happen, and how does it work? Bacteria and viruses have been fighting since the dawn of life. So-called bacteriophages or phages hunt bacteria. In the ocean, phages kill 40% of them every single day. Phages do this by inserting their own genetic code into the bacteria and taking them over to use them as factories. The bacteria try to resist, but fail most of the time because their protection tools are too weak. But sometimes bacteria survive an attack.
Yo, I didn't know bacteria and viruses have beef. Like, I didn't know that.
Only
They go way before, like, we didn't know that, Paul.
if they do so, can they activate their most effective antivirus system. They save a part of the virus DNA in their own genetic code in a DNA archive called CRISPR. Here, it's stored safely until it's needed. When the virus attacks again, the bacterium quickly makes an RNA copy from the DNA archive and arms a secret weapon, a protein called Cas9. The protein now scans the bacterium's insides for signs of the virus invader by comparing every bit of DNA it finds to the sample from the archive. When it finds a 100% perfect match, it's activated and cuts out the virus DNA, making it useless, protecting the bacterium against the attack. What's special is that Cas9 is very precise, almost like a DNA surgeon. The revolution began when scientists figured out that the CRISPR system is programmable. You can just give it a copy of DNA you want to modify and put the system into a living cell. If the old techniques of genetic manipulation were like a map, CRISPR is like a GPS system. Aside from being precise, cheap and easy, CRISPR offers the ability to edit live cells, to switch genes on and off, and target and study particular DNA sequences.
Bro, imagine if you can actually cure, like, disability and paraplegic people, like, those kinds of mutations, like, it's gonna be crazy what this technology can actually do.
It also works for every type of cell, microorganisms, plants, animals, or humans. But despite the revolution CRISPR is for science, it's still just a first-generation tool. More precise tools are already being created and used as we speak. In 2015, scientists used CRISPR to cut the HIV virus out of living cells from patients in the lab, proving that it was possible. Only about a year later, they carried out a larger-scale project with rats that had the HIV virus in basically all of their body cells. By simply injecting CRISPR into the rats' tails, they were able to remove more than 50% of the virus from cells all over the body. In a few decades, a CRISPR therapy might cure HIV. And other retroviruses, viruses that hide inside human DNA like herpes, could be eradicated this way.
Bro, I think they actually got the cure and they're not releasing information. Like, it has been like 11 years since this CRISPR knowledge has been mainstream. They probably got it.
CRISPR could also defeat one of our worst enemies, cancer. Cancer occurs when cells refuse to die and keep multiplying while concealing themselves from the immune system. CRISPR gives us the means to edit your immune cells and make them better cancer hunters. Getting rid of cancer might eventually mean getting just a couple of injections of a few thousand of your own cells that have been engineered in the
Bro, they got this cure already, bro. Like, I'm telling you, the elite government, they actually have it, and they're not releasing the information. Just so they can, like, reduce population and watch people die.
lab to heal you for good. The first clinical trial for a CRISPR cancer treatment on human patients was approved in early 2016 in the US. Not even a month later, Chinese scientists announced that they would treat lung cancer patients with immune cells modified with CRISPR in August 2016. Things are picking up pace quickly. And then there are genetic diseases. There are thousands of them, and they range from mildly annoying to deadly or entail decades of suffering. With a powerful tool like CRISPR, we may be able to end this. Over 3,000 genetic diseases are caused by a single incorrect letter in your DNA. We are already building a modified version of Cas9 that is made to change just a single letter, fixing the disease in the cell. In a decade or two, we could possibly cure thousands of diseases forever. But all of these medical applications have one thing in common. They are limited to the individual and die with them, except if you use them on reproductive cells or very early embryos. But CRISPR can and probably will be used for much more. The creation of modified humans, designer babies, and will mean gradual but irreversible changes to the
Yo, that would be kind of crazy. Like, imagine we could edit their own babies. That's kind of crazy.
human gene pool. The means to edit the genome of a human embryo already exist, though the technology is still in its early stages. But it has already been attempted twice. In 2015 and 2016, Chinese scientists experimented with human embryos.
It's always the Chinese dudes that are actually doing this shit, like releasing viruses and shit, like experimenting with genes and shit. It's always the Chinese, bro. Like, they've been up to like no good, bro. Like,
and were partially successful on their second attempt. They showed the enormous challenges we still face in gene editing embryos, but also that scientists are working on solving them. This is like the computer in the 70s. There will be better computers. Regardless of your personal take on genetic engineering, it will affect you. Modified humans could alter the genome of our entire species because their engineered traits will be passed on to their children and could spread over generations, slowly modifying the whole gene pool of humanity. It will start slowly. The first designer babies will not be overly designed. It's most likely that they will be created to eliminate a deadly genetic disease running in a family. As the technology progresses and gets more refined, more and more people may argue that not using genetic modification is unethical because it condemns children to preventable suffering and death and denies them the cure. But as soon as the first engineered kid is born, a door is opened that can't be closed anymore. Early on, vanity traits will mostly be left alone. But as genetic modification becomes more accepted and our knowledge of our genetic code enhances, the temptation will grow. If you make your offspring immune to Alzheimer, why not also give them an enhanced metabolism?
yo, if imagine we can cure Alzheimer's, bro. That would be like crazy.
Why not throw in perfect eyesight? How about height or muscular structure? Full hair?
You don't need a leg lengthening surgery, bro. You just need to get your gene edited.
About giving your child the gift of extraordinary intelligence? Huge changes are made as a result of the personal decisions
This almost sounds like a pseudoscience, if you ask me.
of millions of individuals that accumulate. This is a slippery slope. Modified humans could become the new standard. But as engineering becomes more normal and our knowledge improves, we could solve the single biggest mortality risk factor, aging.
Bruh. This part sounds like pseudoscience.
2/3 of the 150,000 people who die today will die of age-related causes. Currently, we think aging is caused by the accumulation of damage to our cells, like DNA breaks and the systems responsible for fixing those wearing off over time. But there are also genes that directly affect aging. A combination of genetic engineering and other therapy could stop or slow down aging.
I believe you can actually make developments to slow down aging, like during using this kind of technology, but I don't think you can actually cure death itself. Then you'll be playing kind of God. Like, organizations will be playing kind of God. That becomes like iffy.
Maybe even reverse it. We know from nature that there are animals immune to aging. Maybe we could even borrow a few genes for ourselves.
Yeah, they will create like monstrous human-animal hybrids. Like, it's really kind of crazy.
Some scientists even think biological aging could be something that eventually just stops being a thing. We would still die at some point, but instead of doing so in hospitals at age 90, we might be able to spend a few thousand years with our loved ones. Research into this is...
Yeah, if you read the religious text whatsoever, like, this, olden generation, like Noah, Adam and all of these people kind of live for like thousands of years, like 900, thousands kind of years, like, and as generations came about, like, people age span became shorter and shorter, and like, Also, like there's like I don't know, there's like a verse like God punished them whatsoever. Like age span starts getting corrupted because our genes are getting corrupted. If you can reverse the gene process, like you could actually slow down aging itself, which is a theoretical possibility whatsoever. Like,
in its infancy.
but I don't think it's like you can actually stop death itself. Like that's just impossible in this physical world.
And many scientists are rightly skeptical about the end of aging. The challenges are enormous, and maybe it is unachievable. But it is conceivable that people alive today might be the first to profit from effective anti-aging therapy. All we might need is for someone to convince a smart billionaire to make it their next problem to solve. On a bigger scale, we certainly could solve many problems by having a modified population. Engineered humans might be better equipped to cope with high-energy food, eliminating many diseases of civilization like obesity. In possession of a modified immune system, with a
Yo, imagine you don't have to go to the gym to get a six-pack. It's like genetically embedded into you. Like certain, certain people in the African, black people DNA, they are most muscular and skeletal structure. Like you can actually edit yourself to have that skeletal structure and muscular muscles and better muscle insertions. Like you can actually edit your gene to do that. That's kind of crazy.
library of potential threats, we might become immune to most diseases that haunt us today. Even further into the future, we could engineer humans to be equipped for extended space travel and to cope with different conditions on other planets, which would be extremely helpful in keeping us alive in our hostile universe.
Yeah, if they're making like hybrid human beings, like with animals editing human genes with animals and creating like human zombies and shit, bro. Like, come on, bro. It'll be like a catalyst to the end of the world. Like speedrunning our own death, speedrunning the human civilization itself, causing some kind of apocalyptic world. Like,
Still, a few major challenges await us, some technological, some ethical. Many of you watching will feel uncomfortable
if this actually becomes a reality, there will be no ethical. Everybody will want to be in on it. Like, there's no like ethical arguments against us.
and fear that we will create a world in which we will reject non-perfect humans and pre-select features and qualities based on our idea of what's healthy. The thing is,
Yo, that's the same thing like Nietzsche philosophized, the perfect superhuman. And we should like make our offspring based on good genes itself. The Ubermensch.
we are already living in this world. Tests for dozens of genetic diseases or complications have become standard for pregnant women in much of the world. Often the mere suspicion of a genetic defect can lead to the end of a pregnancy.
That's true. There's a lot of abortions coming.
Take Down
As if you don't have them right now.
syndrome, for example, one of the most common genetic defects. In Europe, about 92% of all pregnancies where it's detected are terminated. The decision to terminate a pregnancy is incredibly personal, but it's important to acknowledge the reality that we are pre-selecting humans based on medical conditions. There is also no use in pretending this will change, so we have to act carefully and respectfully as we advance the technology and can make more and more selections.
Yeah, it can eventually like reduce the number of abortions. Like you can actually edit the genes to cure out the mutations.
But none of this will happen soon. As powerful as CRISPR is, and it is, it's not infallible yet. Wrong edits still happen, as well as unknown errors that could occur anywhere in the DNA and might
Yeah,
go
who actually came up with this?
unnoticed. The gene edit might achieve the desired result, disabling a disease, but also might accidentally trigger unwanted changes. We just don't know enough yet about the complex interplay of our genes to avoid unpredictable consequences. Working on accuracy and monitoring methods is a major concern as the first human trials begin. And since we've discussed a possible positive future, there are darker visions too. Imagine what a state like North Korea could do if they embraced genetic engineering. Could a state cement its rule forever by forcing gene editing on their subjects? What would
Future ideas for the Antichrist.
stop a totalitarian
New
regime
World
from
Order shit.
engineering an army of modified super soldiers? It is doable in theory. Scenarios like this one are
Yeah, you can actually create super soldiers if this becomes successful. Like,
far
the CIA will be balls deep in this shit.
off into the future, if they ever become possible at all. But the basic proof of concept for
I think they have made like a huge advancements in it, but it's not releasing the information to the public.
genetic engineering like this already exists today. The technology really is that powerful. While this might be a tempting reason to ban genetic editing and related research, that would certainly be a mistake. Banning human genetic engineering would only lead to the science wandering off to a place with jurisdiction and rules that we're uncomfortable with. Only by participating can we make sure that further research is guided by caution, reason, oversight, and transparency.
Yeah, I don't know about reason oversight transparency. I don't know about the transparency part. It's gonna be a lot of shit show. This actually become a reality in the future.
By caution, reason, oversight, and transparency. Do you feel uncomfortable now? Most of us have something wrong with them. In the future that lies ahead of us, would we have been allowed to exist? The technology is certainly a bit scary, but we have a lot to gain, and genetic engineering might just be a step.
I think advancements in the range of like curing diseases and paraplegic people, like curing mutation, and curing all the disabilities and inherited diseases, and curing sexually transmitted diseases also, like I think that'll be like a huge benefit to net positive for the humanity itself. But when it comes to like qualitative selective editing of genes of your offspring and making better genes, like creating like perfect superhumans and going against the flow of death itself, the aging process, it gets a little bit iffy on the ethical side and morality side. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I heard this news. Where's that? This clip's got been going on viral. They removed HIV from human immune cells. And it's done return. I'll show you the Twitter post. CRISPR breakthrough HIV may be cut off human cells. Scientists have used CRISPR gene editing technology to remove HIV genetic material from the infected human cells. In a lab experiment, instead of just controlling the virus with medication, this method targets HIV hidden DNA attempts to cut it out completely. Since HIV hides inside human DNA, it has been extremely hard to fully eliminate. This research shows a possible way to directly attack the virus at its source. Experts say it's still early in human trials and safety testing are needed, but it marks an important step towards possible future cure HIV. I think they can actually do this. The National Institute of Health, CRISPR has based approaches for HIV proviral DNA excision, nature biotechnology, gene editing strategies targeting latent HIV reservoirs. Yeah, well, it's kind of crazy, bro. Like, the future is truly like interesting and amazing. So, do you guys support like ethically, is it right, or there's some kind of moral wrong with it? That's about it.